Good afternoon. I am Shubha Lakshmi, working as guest lecturer in Computer Science Department, GFGC Tenkanidiyuru. I am presenting here Java class for 6th semester BSc students. Today we are going to see about different types of layout managers and menus and menu bars. Welcome to my class. Hello students, good afternoon. Today we are going to see about layout managers. So layout means arranging or organizing something that is present on somewhere or on some space. For example, you are using or you are familiar with the MS Word layout option. What will you do that? Page layout. How will you layout? That is, you will be setting the things or the components, whatever they are, like a table or an image or a GIF or anything else you are going to embed in that word will be coming under will be positioned in proper manner. So layout managers control or manage the positioning of the components present. So all of the components, that is, we haven't yet seen the programming example of the AWT controls. If we see, we haven't followed any layout manager. We haven't used any layout manager for positioning those components. We have simply used. So here a layout manager automatically arranges your controls within a window by using some type of algorithm. It follows some type of algorithm and sets the layout of your components. So there are what is each container? Okay, what is a container? Each container object has a layout manager associated with it. A layout manager is an instance of any class that implements the layout interface. As usual, the layout manager is an object and that implements layout manager interface. So the layout manager is set by set layout method. We'll see the method later. So what is this container? Container object means it is in AWT.container. Container, for example, if I tell JFrame is a container and JPanel is also a container. You have to see these JFrames and JPanel. Later we will see. So Java uses layout managers to define the location and size of graphical user interface components. Okay, what are the graphical user interface components are present? We are going to use this layout managers to position it or arrange it in a good manner. Java technology uses layout managers to define the location and size of GUI components. A layout manager implements a layout policy that defines constraints between the components in a container. So it has some constraints or limitations between the components in a container. Few components may be bigger in size or few may be different, smaller in size. So these things are constraints that affect the layout. So types of layout manager. Java technology provides the following layout manager. We will see actually these layout managers: flow layout, grid layout, border layout. In our syllabus we have only flow layout, border layout, grid layout, and then menus, menu bars and menus. Okay, all these things we have. We will see one by one. So default layout manager. Flow layout is a default layout manager for panel and hence the applet class. See, it is given that JPanel is a lightweight container. I have told it is a lightweight container. Okay, so JPanel is a lightweight container and this flow layout is the default layout manager for this container and applet class. The border layout is default manager for window class and its subclasses, means frame and dialog. So this JFrame or frame will be a heavyweight component and border layout is a default layout for this. Setting layout manager, this is the general format for the setting layout manager. Void set layout manager, set layout manager, and this is the object, layout manager object. Flow layout is the first layout. So by the name only you can understand flow layout. It keeps that components in a flow. So it should in a flow means the easiest way. Actually by default it is from left to right and from top to bottom. So if you have some components kept in the layout, flow layout, it will start keeping those components from the top left corner to the bottom right. So top left, then next one, then next, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one, like this it will be kept. So top left corner to bottom right corner it will be arranged. So components towards the end of the row are written on next row. If there is not enough space in the current row, flow layout honors the specified size of the component. So if you change the, one more thing I need to tell, I will show it when I run the program. So whenever I am going to change that window or the interface like panel or applet or JFrame executing window, if I change or resize the window, the components will be replaced or it will be rearranged as accordingly it will be rearranged. So the following constructors are for flow layout. So by default it will be arranged from top left to bottom right. Now we will see that one is the flow layout empty constructor. Here every component will be placed a 5 pixel distance. So one, if I am going to keep a button and next one also I am going to keep 2 buttons, then in between 2 buttons I will have a 5 pixel distance in this format flow layout. Next constructor is flow layout int alignment. Here alignment is given. Now how you want to align the component or the control, that will be told. So this alignment can take different values. Last one is flow layout int alignment, integer horizontal gap and integer vertical gap. So here in both these things I will have only 5 pixel distance between the 2 components. Here I can arrange the 2 components and even the vertical distance also as I wish. I mean distance between the 2 component, horizontal gap, and the distance between the first row and the second row also can be arranged with the help of the integer type vertical gap. Okay. So this is an example. I will show you some other example later. Here this example, in this example this is a component, this is a component, this is again a component, this is a component, it is placed in order. Okay. One more thing, here alignment thing, we haven't seen alignment. You can take left, center, right, leading and trailing. So these are the different types of alignment you can have in the flow layout. Left, center, right, leading and trailing. However I wish I can have. Left will be arranged here, right will be here, and leading will be kept like this, left only, and trailing will be coming from behind. That is component as trailing. Center, you will find the components at the center. So next is grid layout. As the name itself tells you how the layout should be, it is in the form of a grid, or it is a 2-dimensional thing which is having a row and a column. A grid layout manager places components in a rectangular grid. Each component's position is identified by a column and a row. So you have that constructors with the space provided for column or number provided for column and row. It may contain 3 rows or 2 columns or vice versa is possible. All the cells in the grid have the same size and width. Okay, each component is stretched to the cell size. If any component is bigger and if any component is smaller, it will allot only equal size or same size and width for each component. So grid layout ignores the component's size, preferred size. If I want a component alone bigger in size, one component alone bigger in size and other components in a 2 by 2 grid, other 3 components in smaller size, I can't arrange with the grid layout, because this will arrange. If I have a 2 by 2 layout, then this window will be equally divided into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this it will come. So here you have the constructors for the grid layout. One is empty constructor, grid layout. Second form creates a grid layout with a specified number of rows and columns. And third form allows you to specify the horizontal gap and the vertical space or gap between the two components. So here is an example. Here all these are buttons arranged in a 4 by 4 row. So every example is in applet. In our book, we can have this in JFrame or panel also. Here it is an applet with 4 by 4 grid layout having 15 components, buttons. Next one is a border layout. So border, it will be kept in the border. All the components will be kept in the border. See, this can be divided into 5 regions. So north, east, south, west and center. Okay, as usual, whenever you draw a map or a map, you would have seen that this 4 arrow marks will mention the top one is north and the bottom one is south and the right one is east and the left one is west, east, west, north, south, east, west, mid one is the center one, center. So all these are divided into parts. A component can be explicitly added to one of the regions using the add method of the container class. So this container class will add one by one in its area. Any space left over by the component in the north, east, south and west is occupied by the center. Component in the center can occupy any space left over by the component of any other regions. So what is the constructor? Border layout. Border layout int horizontal gap, integer vertical gap. 2 types of constructors we have here. So these things you know what is integer horizontal gap and vertical gap. So you can have a gap also in the border layout. These are the 3 3 layout managers in this, and we'll see menus and menu bars later. Here you have shown this part is north, south, east and west, and this one is the center. So we shall now see the programs one by one. So this is the program for my flow layout. This is JFrame with constructor having introduced a frame, and then it has buttons B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. 5 buttons are arranged. So all these things are added to the frame, and frames layout is set in this method. So f.set layout will have a new flow layout with trailing, I have given trailing. You can give right, center or left as you wish. Okay, leading, trailing, right, center, left. So leading and trailing will act as left and right. Center will be in the center. So we will run this program once. F dot set size I have given, set visible is true. This is for the frame. You are going to set the frame size as 300 by 300 pixels and it is true always. So let us run this. I have already compiled this program, so I will run this directly. Hope you can see the program. Now see, when I maximize, this will go to the right end. I will restore and I will change the size of the interface. Can you see? So there is no difference here, only I have 5 components. We'll show one more thing. See, now the space is okay for it. If I shrink the space further, see how, as I have given that alignment as trailing, so from behind it is getting arranged to trailing. Okay, from bottom, or this is position from the right end. Okay, see, this thing can happen with a JFrame with flow layout. So as you resize this, the flow layout will also change. Okay, so next one is the grid layout. Java my grid layout. So this is the program. So can you see now? I have positioned this with the vertical and horizontal gaps. Okay, horizontal gap and vertical gap. Here I have given 15 pixel and here also I have given 15 pixel. Both the horizontal and vertical gap will take the same value I have given. You can change and also give. Here in this program I have 9 buttons arranged in such a way, grid. Okay. It is arranged 3 by 3. So whatever you do, you change the size, resize, it will show only 3 by 3 components. Each should have same size. Each component should possess same size. So this is the program. If you wish, you can change the value. You have seen, right? All these things are same. JFrame having 6, 7, 8, 9 buttons with the display also. And all these things I have added, and layout I have given as grid layout. Here I have 15 and 15 as vertical and horizontal space or gap between the two components. Okay, set size and visible true as usual. So we will see one more. So sorry. Border layout is there. I will show that. So this is the program for border layout. Public class border, JFrame border. All these things are same. Here I am having button showing a value north, south, east, west, center. That's all. Okay, 5 buttons I have included. Only 5 possible areas we have here. So here we can run and see execution of this. Already I have compiled. The same thing I have to do now. So can you see? This is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west. Okay, and this is the center. Equally divided. Okay, center occupies much space. If I have kept some other component or I have defined the size of the component, it will take more space, and this is the way I have kept. Okay, north and south, east and west, inside is the center. Thank you, student. Students, now we are going to see about menu bars and menus, which are managing windows. These two objects will manage windows. So this is a top level window. A top level window can have a menu bar associated with it. A menu bar displays a list of top level menu choices. Okay, it displays if I have a menu bar, it will display a top level menu choices. Each choice is associated with a drop down menu. You know how a menu will appear. So each menu will have a drop down box, and we will be having options there. This concept is implemented in Java. So we have this menu bar, menu item. So in general, a menu bar contains one or more menu objects in a horizontal row, and each menu object contains a list of menu items which will be dropped down in a vertical way. Okay, vertical column type thing. You will be seeing a column type display where you can see the menu items available, and each menu item object represents something that can be selected by the user. If I select the menu item, something may happen. Like you have seen that in file menu we will be having new, open, save, save as, like that. Okay, these are the menu items we have in a file menu. And if I have that file menu, in that file menu, I can have in open, I can have a submenu where it will show the folders. I have created some other programs where I have created some other programs also. So submenu can be obtained by clicking one menu item from a drop down menu list. So following are the constructors for the menu. To create a menu bar, first create an instance of menu bar. This class only defines the default constructor. Next, create instances of menu that will define the sections displayed on the bar. So menu, this creates the menu. Okay, default is menu bar. So if you create an instance of menu bar, it will be created by default. So menu, next one is menu string option name. String option name. Okay, final one is menu string option name boolean removable. Here the option name means the name which you want to give for the menu. And if the removable is true, the pop-up menu can be removed and allowed to float free. Okay, pop-up menu can be removed and allowed to float free. You would have seen floating menus. For example, I can show to see, this is a floating menu like this, and one more I have here is this type of floating menus available. Okay, floating menus. So if you tell this boolean removable true, then your floating menu will be, pop-up menu can be removed and allowed to float free. Next one. Otherwise, it will be attached to the menu bar. Menu bars, menu item defines these constructors. So next one is that we are going to create menu items. Menu item, string item name. That is the item name which you wish to come on the menu item. Menu item, string item name, menu shortcut key, Excel. ACC, EL. That is the key, so shortcut keys or shortcut access methods will be given here. We have seen that if we select an file menu in Save As, we can see nearby you'll be nearby save, we will see right side, on the right side of the save option there will be Control plus S, that is the shortcut key through which we can access the menu item that is given. So here item name is the name shown in the menu. Okay, this is the shortcut for the item. So whenever you want to save the file, you can directly press Ctrl S, you can get the shortcut way. So here void boolean get state. What is this get state? Actually this menu item object, checkbox menu item is there. One more option for us under the menu item superclass. So checkbox menu item is a subclass which is present under the superclass menu item. So that menu item will hold checkbox menu item. We haven't defined that constructor here. We have given only menu. Checkbox menu item. Can I have checkbox menu item? I have not shown it here. So if I have a checkbox menu item used in my interface, then I can have this boolean get state to. This is a method we can use to get the state of that specific menu checked or not. Okay, so menu item is being checked or not. I can have so many things. You can find the checkbox when while you open, in few cases of the menu bar and menus, you can find the checkbox towards the left of the menu items. that can be checked. So Boolean get state is whether the item is checked, then I get the value as true. So if it is not checked, then I will get the value as false. So next, set state also, I can have the menu item checked with the help of this Boolean checked. So in case of checkbox, I am using the checkbox with the menu item, then only I can use these things. So void set state Boolean check. Next one is menu item, add menu item. So here item is the item being added. Items are added to the menu in order in which they calls the add. Whenever I have an add, if I keep a menu item keyboard under computer devices or peripheral devices, keyboard first and then mouse, as it will appear in order only. Keyboard will be appearing in the first place and mouse will appear in the next place. So it will appear in order. Here the item is returned. Okay, item is returned. Next one is menu, add menu. Here menu is the menu being added. Menu will be added and menu is returned. Menu is the menu being added and it is returned too. So object get item. This is one more method. Here I will get the item name. Okay, I will get the item name. Get item method of item event returns a reference to the item that generated this event. We can have some event generated with the item also, I will tell you. So object get item will refer or it will return a reference to the item that generated this event. Okay. So action listener or item listener interfaces will be handling events created by the menu. We can have events created by the menu. So these events are like set action commands. Okay, action events may be like this, set action command. So you can have a set action command, different commands given to that menu item. That is nothing but the menu name. Action command means what you see on the menu. So for this actions event should be performed, we should have a action listener or a item listener interface. So let us see an example. Here we have an example, class menu example constructor has a frame. I have given the name of the frame, so and menu bar MB new menu bar. I am creating this. Okay, or I am next one. So instance of the menu bar is created with this. Then I create a menu new menu. Here I have changed menu I3, new menu item 3. I will tell you this later. In the menu I am going to add 3 things: item 1, item 2 and item 3. In my main menu I will have item 1, item 2 and item 3, and then item 3 is going to have some submenu. Item 3 is going to have a submenu where menu items are item 4 and item 5. In the submenu item 3, I am going to have item 4 and item 5. See here, I am not including this as menu item. I will have menu item 1 and 2. This will be a submenu. Next one will be a submenu. I will show you the program. It is menu example. Here I have changed the name of them. Menu I3 is equal to new menu item 3. Actually this has been some submenu, some other name I have given, now I have changed. So this menu item is going to have a submenu, okay, and this will be displayed as item 3. So I have a menu having 1, 2 and 3 items in the menu, main menu, and here I am going to have a sub menu. Whenever I am going to press this, see, without even pressing it will be showing it has some sub menu. Here I have one triangle which shows that I have some sub menu. When I click on it, or when I point it, I will get this listed menu items under the sub menu. So item 3 is my sub menu here, and item 4 and item 5 are menu items of the sub menu. Item 1, 2 and 3 are the menu items of main menu. That's what I have written here. Item I1 is the item 1 and item 2 are main menu items, and this will behave as a sub menu. Here I am adding item 4 and item 5. As usual, I add a menu item to a main menu. Same thing, adding a menu item to a main menu or a sub menu. Initiation is the same. Only here I have to change. So menu, add I1, add I2. This will be added to menu. This I have changed. I3 I have kept a sub menu. Okay. Menu, and I will add to I3. Add to I3, I4 and I5. So menu dot add I3. I will finally add this to there. See, I will add this after adding a sub menu. So MB is the menu bar, add menu. So menu will be added to the menu bar now. I1, I2 and I3 menus are added to the menu, and the menu will be added to the menu bar with this command. Hope you have understood. Other things are set menu bar and set size. It has been given as 400 pixel, layout null and visible true. So this will run your, this is the example for your menu example. Hope you have understood. These are layout managers and menu bars and menu items. Okay. Thank you, students.